It's that time again. Bit more slow-paced ZX Next coding. I think it will be another slow one today. Excellent piece of music there. Forget who made that. Chris somebody, I think. Can't remember. Let's get into the coding. So we were adding projectiles yesterday, and that's probably what we're going to be doing again today, just finishing it off, adding collision perhaps to them, although there's nothing for them to collide with just yet. We need to come up with some sort of enemies as well. Problem we've got with that is we have only got, where is it? We've already used all them sprites there. We're much further than halfway through the sprites there. And as far as I know, there's no other way of using more than one sprite table at the same time. Sprites init. Yeah. As far as I can tell, we're stuck with just one table of sprites, and because we're using the 256 color sprites, we get 64 of them. Don't forget that each player frame of animation takes up 9 frames, 9 sprites, and there's 4 frames of animation, so that's already 32 right there, or 36. How many is that actually? It's 36, isn't it? I wonder if I've got that right in here then. Oh yeah, 37, good, because that's got the hammer in it as well. Well, it's a bone actually, not a hammer. Yeah, so we couldn't really, I don't see how we can add in enemies that are the same size as this guy, as our sprite. There just isn't the room in the sprite hardware. We'd need them. I'm guessing, it's a complete guess, but I'd guess that the SNES has 16 size well, then again, ours are 16 by 16, our sprites. Pixels. But where is it? I thought I drew it somewhere. Init sprites, where is it? Here. Yeah, so it's 48 pixels wide and high. But look how many sprites it actually uses to do that. So if we wanted to continue with this game project, all of our enemies are going to have to be smaller than us, really, or at the very least, much less detail, and then we could magnify them. I've added this. Can you see? I don't know what it looks like on your screen, but there looks like there's 2 hammers there. But if you pause it, There's always only one. So that's another problem I've found. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds, I've got to open my window, it's getting hot in here now. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so I'm really stuck as to what to do with that, you know, what the cause of that is. It's very odd. It seems to me like it's flicking between 2 frames. Now, you might notice as well, overnight I done the arc, you know, added sideways velocity as well. And that's obviously the cause of this glitch. When it was just going up and down, it wasn't doing that. And how I did that was, forget how I've done it for the velocity, you know, for actually moving it. It's pretty simple. It's like a simpler version of what I did for the up and down. In the end, I've used Y's velocity. It just turned out to be the best way. I set a constant first there. But more importantly, in the actual draw routine, I believe this is where our problem will lie. Where is it? I can never find it. Anything now. Yeah, so this is what I added, as well as this. Let me zoom in. It's hard to read in it. But yeah, so I'm pushing HL and popping it all the way down here. And the reason for that is because I'm actually altering I'm altering his X position by his offset. And that's where I've gone wrong. But the thing is, the reason I had to do that is because X is 9 bits and offset is always 0 to 15. But if you just go ahead and add that to the low bit every time and you chuck the bone and it crosses over where the high byte gets set, at that point it breaks and you see the hammer at the left side of the screen instead of where it's supposed to be. I mean, I could show you that pretty quickly. If I comment out what I did there, as well as this, I'm just setting it back to what it was. But it's clearly what's bugging it. That's what's bugging it out, isn't it? I thought that at least. But then if you simply add a IX plus 11, which is the X offset, you still get that same problem, look. And we're not doing that anymore. So I concluded that that wasn't the cause. But look what happens if I'm over here. Ah, luckily it... Yeah, see? Because I'm up higher, it doesn't work. So, yeah, to get around that, that's the reason I've done all this here. So I'm literally changing our position variables. but only for a very short time until it gets down to here, and then I pop it back. It seems to work exactly the same, other than you don't get that bug, but I really can't figure out what's making it look like there's two hammers. Because there clearly isn't if you look at each particular frame one by one. But we could try a little breakpoint somewhere in there. Probably in the draw routine for the hammer. So right here where we pop it and get it back. Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen until we until it was visible. Huh. That's strange. It shouldn't be able to call that until it's visible. Attribute 3, yeah. So of course now it will break every frame for every single one of those. Huh. So it's hard to actually see, but what I'm trying to look at is the actual Z flag, or even just the bits of A. But it's just a 2, 4, so you've got to look that up. But that tells me the visibility bit should be 0, so I found that a bit odd. I found it a bit odd that it was breaking here, because that's getting called here only if bit 7 is 1. If bit 7 is 0, we go to this, we just jump straight to there. Yeah, very odd. I think in my check view routine, it does set that bit to be, it does call that routine, I mean. So perhaps if we just only do it once here, that should fix it. So this routine is trying to set it to not in view. So it wants to set that bit 7 to be 0. So if it's already 0, we want to return. But that means it will be Z, not NZ. Now finally in here, hopefully, it'll just call it the once. It won't call it until I throw it. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Oh, see? Right. So HL there. It's setting the world pos. So it seems like it's happening every 4 frames, which does add up to me because velocity is 4 and the tile size is 16. So it's clearly when I get to the end of the tile. Here's where I move right 1. That means I'm at the end of the tile. So this is doing something wrong. Ink. Or perhaps it is just simply inking by 2. No, I don't think that's going to work, but let's try it anyway. No, same problem. Basically, I just need to reset one value that I've forgotten about. All that there is just to kill the projectile when it gets off the screen. So that there is setting the pixel offset back to 0. And I thought that's what I'd want. Because the bone does always spawn snapped to a cell, because we spawn it. If I remember right, let's just double check that. Yeah, player world X. Although we are using that. I wonder, do we need that? Right, we don't need that, that's good. So we are just using the world values. We will of course need to reset like loads of the offsets and timers in this bit here eventually. But I'm trying to figure out what would cause that problem. So what we've done there is we've increased this x offset by the y velocity, funnily enough, but just by a certain amount each frame. And then when it's max scroll or more, and it never will be more because it's 4 every time it's getting added. Well, it's not actually, I'm using y velocity now, but it doesn't make any difference. Let's change it to a x velocity. Look, let's just change it to that. So we just add that amount to the value, and later on in the draw it gets used to draw the pixels. But why is there that weird stepping? That didn't change anything, but at least, you know, it's just showing you that. So it starts at 0. Does the first hammer do the glitch, or is it every other hammer? No, it's all of them. So yeah, it starts at 0, goes up by 4 each time. If it equals 16. So that's the problem, isn't it? 16 is too far. So if you started from 0, what would you get? You'd get 0 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Yeah, and then when it's, that would be fine. And then when it's 16, this would then get called, so we could change that to equals. And here it gets set right back to 0 straight away, so that's fine. We know that all works, it just kills the thing off. It's literally... Can't see a problem with that. But like I say, I'll demonstrate it again with a breakpoint. So we throw the hammer, look. Every 4th frame it snaps like that. It's getting drawn in the wrong place. Yes, yeah, so it has three frames where it's drawn correctly, then one where it seems to be drawn slightly too far to the left, probably by about 16 pixels actually. I just wonder if I change that to 15 there, just for the fun of it. Well, that seemed alright. Guessing wins again. That bug, this new bug, I believe, is to do with not resetting the X offset. Oh, I see. That's clever. I should have thought of that. That seems like the offset was just constantly going up. Don't really need to involve the world tiles on the offset. The tile width, I should say. Too much code. Max scroll. See, why not just add the velocity constantly? Yeah, let's try that instead. This thing here, what I'm copying, is what kills the thing when it goes off the screen. Ah, but that is using tiles. But I'm now not updating its tiles. So in B there is the offset. Only the offset. It's a pain. IX plus 2 is the small bit, least significant bit or byte for X. And above this I'm going to check IX plus 3, which is the most significant bit. Oh, what a pain, eh? I'm using A. Let's forget that a minute. Alright, so now it's got the position. Pretty sure I don't even need to care about that actually. The weld position. No, that's right, I don't. Okay, load A with Alright, so if the most significant bit is not set, return. I think it's this trick I learnt the other day. Low 320. So that's going to tell us that this is the low byte and I want a value of 320. So if it's less again, then we return. If not, well, let's just put call NC that. Okay, so that should hopefully fix it. It's going to make collision a bit annoying because, well, it's not really. It's no different actually. Oh, there's still that bug there though. Oh yeah, I haven't fixed that, have I? So there's no need to do it in projectile kill actually. Get rid of that as well. So just doing those three things is fine to kill it, but then when we spawn it, right here. Oh dear. We've already got it anyway. But there was another thing, X offset needs to be reset. Let's have a quick glimpse what else might need to be. We set those here, or at least that one. I don't think we even use world Y. But yeah, we've done that, that's sorted. That I think can just remain 0 the whole time. That's already going to remain the same except for the visibility, which we deal with elsewhere. Slot ID never changes. Velocity Y. That's what we've done there. And then there. I think we're all good. Finally. That's much better. Yeah, I haven't done it yet for turning round. Could get funny that. It's going to be slight. It's not just a copy paste job. It's almost, but not quite. Although it might be now we've done it just purely on the offset like that. It probably is a copy paste jobby. Instead of adding, we just subtract. Thing is, we've got a Y direction here. Look, they'll probably will need an X direction. I've got it all mixed up, as you can see, but it's a bit of a pain to change it. Let's add another one, why not? So the first thing we want to do is initialize it with the direction from the player. Walk direction's the one you want. Jump direction's something different. Basically, that's Y direct. You know, that's the player's Y direction, and this one's his X. Excuse me. So in the projectile update loop, we just want to know what direction we're going, don't we? What bit do we really want to do differently? Well, here I've made go right, sorry. And we just call that by default. So instead, let's do proj move sideways. And then just compare in there. I think it's IX plus 12, wasn't it? I haven't actually made that yet. Just trying to think of the most tidy way of doing it. Doing it if. So if not, now we're doing the right. Let's see if we can just simply copy paste it like that. Instead, I said I was going to just subtract, didn't I? It actually did look a bit neater by using the Y velocity, which makes it curve more. So try that for a while instead. IX plus 8. I have had problems with sub before and IX. It was probably just me doing it wrong, but if we get weird bugs, we'll change that back to constant. Alright, here we're looking to kill the projectile, but the last time it was on the right side of the screen. This time it's just on the left, which is at screen 0. So we're only going to care, well no, we are going to care about the MSB. But we'll return if it's a 1 this time. Remember, they're reversed. And this 0. That's its world position. We can't do that. Just realised. I've got it a bit of a spider's web mess again with the code with this particular problem, because we're adding the offset still, the X offset, but we're just subtracting this time. So what we really need to know oh yeah, I'm getting confused with my own code. Look, what's actually what I'm doing there is that's just X 2 and 3, so we're only caring about his screen position. Yeah, that's not going to work, because it doesn't include the offset, does it? I don't think that will be working properly, even though we might have seen it working a minute ago. And annoyingly, it's in IX, so you can't just do this, I don't think, because it'll load it backwards. That's a right pain. Oh. So this is all well and good. Everything's right in there, except for we haven't took that stupid offset into account. And this is where it becomes a pain using that offset philosophy, rather than just updating the actual pixels address, which was what Ped was commenting about, one of the things. So that'll be another way to look at doing this another time. But there's another way around it. I mean, we can simply load both of them into HL like this. Now remember, that's the low byte number, IX plus 2. Okay, so now H and L are pointing at these. What was the other thing? The offset, wasn't it? I think it's 12, but I keep having to flick back and look at it. 11. Thank goodness for add HLA. I love that. So now it is that plus offset. So now instead of just using that, we just use H L. That should work for us for there. Annoyingly, you can't do add HLA minus A, you know, so for our one above. And I've had problems using SBC, so I would probably do that wrong. But we're going to try and do the same thing anyway, so it's going to be H there, L there. I'm pretty sure you can do bit 0H. I'm not even sure if you can, but you might. but it's not. By the way, I'm not ignoring any comments. I just don't think I've had any today, which is not a problem. But I'm just letting you know in case there are problems. I'll load into Discord just in case. But yeah, don't feel like you have to comment though by any means. Yeah, it looks like we're all good. Okay. So yeah. Add HLA would be perfect, but now we've got the same problem. What we really want is sub HLA. God, how I'd love that. That's not going to work though. I'm going to look up SBC, I believe is the right instruction. But I don't know how to use it exactly. Something to do with putting it into DE. And yeah, so I can use any of the other registers. I mean, it seems like it's simple, but I bet I am supposed to and. Hey, Specky. Spec chum. Good to see you, man. Neg 8 had HL. Yeah, but how can you do that with just A? Oh, wait there. Neg. Have you mentioned that before, have you? Oh, I can only take in so much, man. Neg. Nice one. So I may as well start using that like that. They're like a pair of instructions, aren't they? Nice one, my dude. Okay, so trusting that that would work, then the rest of it should work now. Neg is the same as minus A. Add minus A. Yeah, I've definitely been using add and the minus constant, but I didn't know I could do it with minus value in a register. That's superb. Oh, I have got an error. So I'll have to run with the run ebat instead. Because I've got rid of it. Because it was filling up my screen with error with empty command prompts. Yeah, it's meant to be add HLA, sorry, I do apologise. Okay, so our right one still looks all good, and it looks like it gets killed at the edge of the screen. Oh, look at that! It bounced it looked like it bounced off the edge then. Ah, sadly we do not see anything when we're going left, so it's not quite finished yet. Hmm. Guess just for a second I'm going to put it in this bit here where we spawn. This is where we know it's just spawning one. It's so big now, I probably should have made its own routine, like draw. Did I want to break point? I forgot what I was doing up there then. Yeah, I do. I want to see if it when it's left. Okay. It looks like it's the right weld position in A right there. Have a look at the code. My best guess is that it gets spawned and then instantly moved off the screen, but yeah, it's gone before you've even. Okay. Let's just not kill it a second, see what happens. It's still alive somewhere. Oh look, it came through the left side of the screen. Odd. The MSB needs to be set or something. Um. Where are we spawning? Hmm. Ah, probably need to do it here differently. Yeah, to do handle left right differently. That. Get rid of that to do is a good feeling. Oh, I need to split it again. Just need a constant look at that reference of what's what, especially when it's not in any particular order. Yeah, it's a case of just subbing that. That's such a beauty of a trick you've just shown me there, man. One day I'll go in and learn exactly about that, but not right now. I'll just use it for what it is at the moment. I believe it might be good to go. Oh yeah. Cool. Probably needs a big improvement, that routine, but as long as it works. Damn. Wait, now the direction's not even fixing it. That's weird. So now even if I'm facing left, it's going. Even if I'm facing right, it's going left. I'm sure that's only since I added this. Let's try without it. Oh, weird. So just in the fact of doing that. Oh, it should have been. Oh no, it should be jump. Because then I jump to there. Oh, of course, that's right. Oh, I'm an idiot, and I just change it to left. But I still didn't explain why you'd think it'd just reverse. Yeah, it's still not changed anything. Yeah, of course I don't want to. I don't want to do it twice, do I? The negative. Ooh, it's a tricky one. We still want to add it. It's actually the same. But then in the draw routine, which is really funky, I don't like doing that. It won't be long till I actually abandon this project and just take what I've learned from it and move on, because what I want to do next time is I want to keep this as a template to fall back on, but I want to make another meta tile solution which is almost the same as this, but I want to use pixels for the location of everything. Like, so it'll have a map location, but it'll be a a word, and it'll be in pixels. Some of the calculations get a little bit more complicated, but not many. Most of them are simpler, as far as I can tell. Mm. Well, as a quick fix, I'm gonna just add, but I don't think it will fix it, because really you should be able to sub here and then just add like we were already doing here. Yeah, same problem. Weird how they're always visible from the other side of the screen there. That's really weird. Hmm. If we go back to sub that, then actually it is going to become a negative number, isn't it? We need to treat it as such. Good evening, Specky Nut. It's not going to be a super long session today, actually. I'm feeling a bit tired out. Probably, well, less than half an hour left, put it that way. Very good, thanks, mate. Yeah, very good. We've got some progress going on the projectiles now. They're looking alright. But left is causing me a problem right now. And if I get near the left side, look, they come out from there. So something weird is happening. Have you missed a couple, have you? There were some cool sessions. We got raided by like 70 people from Shalan and a couple of others. Like, we had multiple raids on one night. It was awesome. Ped's Discord comments yet? You saw the raids. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's sad because sometimes we're making massive progress and sometimes you're stuck in a swamp of problems. One day it might come along when it's just all going to plan, you know. That would be super duper. I can't quite figure out why it's doing that with the offset. Oh, I do kind of get it. It's thinking the offset's a really big number and then it's adding it. Actually, I didn't change it back to adding here though. Let's just try resetting the sign bit. Oh no, you can't do that actually. It'd be boring if it all worked first time. Yeah, but it gets like painful sometimes when you can't fix something, doesn't it? It's like oh, but it is a great feeling when you get it done in the end. I must be honest. Yeah, that's I've just been taught that by a spec. It's basically like writing, being able to write sub HLA. In other words, is how we. That's all I'm thinking of it as at this moment. I haven't looked into the ins and outs of how it does that. I know this won't work what I've just done, but I want to see if it makes it any better. Oh, not at all. At least it's now like offset by my player position. It's because of the two's complement. How would you invert a two's complement? Oh, you're saying that you're talking about two's complement at the same time. That's a good coincidence. Because what I done there was just turn the sign bit off. Of course, that's not good enough. What I'm really trying to do is invert this negative number into a positive number. Add 128, I guess, would do it, wouldn't it? Let's try that. Nope. One's complement of a bit flip. Okay. Okay. That sounds like what I actually need to do, yeah. I see. I'm trying to do what that's doing. I'm with you now, mate. That's so good of you to explain that. Thank you. You've just helped me a lot with signed numbers there. So you do the bit flip and then you add one and you've got your positive version. That's what I've managed to claw from that, or I hope that's accurate what I just said, because that's my like interpretation of what I just learned. So in other words, we do want to sub that then. Oh, hang on, no. Yeah, it really does hurt mine, Specky. Spec butt. Yeah, it hurts my brain, don't you worry about that. That book I used to refer to though, I read that and it really made sense, even the 16-bit one at the time of reading. Let me have a think about this then. So we're now subbing it, so we've got a negative offset value. And what I want to do is just apply that to the 16-bit register that's holding the X position. I know I could just delete this and then do a little routine where I check if the most significant bit is set and all that stuff, and then I can just apply it to the small bit as needed. That might be the key. Yeah, I kind of get that much about the CPU not caring. That's the dangerous thing. It'd be nice if it did. If it needs one little extra bit just to say it's signed. Just so that my brain doesn't have to think. I had it in my head there how to sort it. Because we don't really need to care about the high bit. Mm. What I was trying to do was avoid. Well, in fact, yeah, I'm going to go back to having a positive offset. So we don't actually need to split this movement anymore. It does the exact same thing now. Oh, I guess it checks differently here, yeah. Sub. God, what was it? Sub H. No, sub L. No, that's wrong as well. There was no need to move that actually. I don't know why I just did that. Cool, this is a weird way of doing this as well, I bet. We don't need to push HL now, but for now I'm just going to leave it there. Just use A instead there. Ah, I see. Do you know what? I was about to limit it after I'd got it working. In my mind, I was thinking I'll limit it so it can not go over 127. That'll be the maximum throw distance. This might work. What I just did. It's bloody awful because it's in the draw routine. Long story short, it means when we do collision, we're going to now have to check if it's moving left or right and we'll have to apply the offset to the collision detection, and we'll have to know if that's, you know, heading left or right basically. Wait, it's working. Alright, it fizzed over to the other side of the screen. The reason for that is this commented out code here. Excuse me. Let's not have that. Actually, yeah, we'll just have a load AIX11 CP127. Let's just do max distance in it. Kill it. We should probably just do the same thing here. Ah, no. We should do the same thing there, but also the same thing here, which is a bloody pain because we'll have to do the subbing again, won't we? Yeah, thanks, Spectrum. Lifesaver. Might have to use that sub HL again, which isn't really sub HL, it's just neg add HL. Sub HL macro, that's a good shout. If this works, what I just do now, I'll probably do that next. Good little wind down thing, try and get that working. It's still bugging out my kill code. So in other words, it must miss 0 sometimes. That makes sure it can't go too far, but this is checking if it goes off the screen. I'm testing for it to be an equal 0. I don't think you could do less than or equal because there's not really a less than, is there? I mean, if I do less than or equal and then let's do 5, for example, see if that, or 8, let's see if that helps. Still appears. What a bugger. Won't be a second. By the way, if anyone's reading this thinking, what the hell is all this complicated stuff? It is definitely overly complicated. I need to do it again. As I was saying earlier, in a fresh project. This one is going to get abandoned. And the reason is, I want to put a pixel position in world rather than just have it measured in meta tiles. But to do that, a lot of the numbers are going to be needed to convert it from 8-bit to 16. And some the other way around as well. I'd rather not start messing this project up to that degree. Not to mention, we've run out of sprite room. I need to pick smaller sprites. It's not that far off being able to make games with sprites this big. But if we put in one more guy who's almost as big as us, he'd have to be a bit thinner than us. with smaller amount of animation frames, and then we'd be stuck. That would be all of it. Maybe a couple of power-ups. Of course, I expect there is a way for level 2. You could probably just load a completely new sprite sheet if you wanted to. The thing is, I'm not quite sure why it's not killing this guy. He can't travel faster than 4 per turn. So this should be able to trigger and kill him. Maybe I'll leave that for now and try and do this macro, just for the fun of it. I'll put all my other macros into tools. I'm gonna guess we can't use a space. That would be insane if we could. This is just me thinking on my feet here. I haven't paid this any thought yet. But we know it'll want to do neg, yeah. That's simple, isn't it? Really. It really is that simple, really, isn't it? There's no way of loading the value in. That's for using constants, isn't it? Sub HLA. Cool. That didn't take long. Oh, try this. Let's go back into projectile. Oh wait, that's probably in the wrong place. Wait. Missing the A from the macro. I'll look at that in a second. I've never seen cool M. Is that a typo? I think it is, isn't it? It is M. Sorry for that. I've got to look up the M flag. I've never even heard of that. I'm learning some, in my mind, advanced stuff here. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a bug that I know exactly what causes it. It's because there's white space. We just actually left the screen there, even though it didn't look like it. That's fantastic. Great work, man. Don't know how you manage it. Straight off the bat, simple answers. I'm gonna have to put a to-do there for myself. Study M flag. Let's have a look at this macro then. Right, here's neg HLA. Ah, I see exactly what you mean now. Thank you. Haha. Cool, that could have been a dangerous little recipe, couldn't it? If it had somehow been legal. I mean, macros are kind of nasty. Now I'm having to look into another definition, you know. But they are bloody cool as well, like for this sort of stuff. Let's leave it there, innit? Maybe once I get used to them, they won't look so nasty to me. M is minus. Oh, right. Oh, I did see about this in Z80 Heaven when I was trying to study the 16-bit flags. There's an S and V flag. There's one with like 2 bits, isn't there? Like 2 letters, sorry. And it's either S or V or something. I can't remember, but PV. Sorry, yeah, PV. I was trying to learn it, but in the end, I must have got distracted by something that I could actually understand, so I moved past it. You know. I'll put here the comment macro. See macro. Just in case anyone's skimming through and thinking, where the hell, what's that instruction? Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is more rapid progress, to be honest. It's such a shame there's not like... Perhaps I could convert these guys into 4-bit sprites. Although it looks like there's quite a few colours on him. But it's pretty accurate, that collision detection now. I can go right close to that. And then if I go there, then it's there. Yeah. I'll slip off here and then fall on. I like it, I like it. Whoa! If I was going to complete this game, we'd be on nearly the time for the death animation. It would be nice to add the super jump with where he crouches. Maybe if you press up and jump at the same time. It is looking good. Thanks, Spectrum. Without help from you and a few other real gold mines, I'd still be stuck trying to figure out just drawing a sprite, I think, on the screen. Initializing them. I managed to accelerate right through that thanks to you guys. I am kind of looking forward to starting a fresh project. Now I know the limitations slightly better. I'll get excited when there's one I think I can finish. I think this one, I hate abandoning projects, but what kind of enemies can we add if we can only add small ones? I suppose if they only had 2 frames of animation. Nah, there's not enough. They all need like death animations, attack animations, idle walking, you know. Then you need some bosses. So unfortunately I think it's a little bit too good at the moment. There's no reason why we couldn't copy this entire project and scale it down with like just by changing a few bits about the sprite drawing. But I think it's a good opportunity to start afresh and try and get yeah, the dungeon cards game. I'm quite excited about that. I've been playing that again today, trying to absorb like what's the word, like game rules. Do you know what I mean? Like to try and summarize it in simple rules of exactly how it works. But obviously we'd make a much more simple version. They're using like powerful game languages and for powerful machines. When you get into that game, it's really fun. It's really detailed, honestly. You could play that like 1,000 times, I think, and it would be a different run every time, or at least like 100 times. I would love to do that, and that would take the onus off the scrolling. I think I will do one more with scrolling so that I really cement it into my mind how to work it. Do you know what my next one might be? No, 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 not vertical, although that will be coming as well. I want to redo this basically, but with pixel positions for the world. We could certainly look at that though, Specky. I've got a funny feeling that'll be easier because there's no cells to worry about. Everything's a pixel on Y. I'm really leaning towards making a Final Fight style game, but one that uses very small sprites, like Mighty Final Fight. And that actually got made for the ZX Spectrum recently by some Russian guy. I played it, I loved it, I was really impressed with it. So maybe, just maybe, I'll rip the sprites out of that, copy them into GIMP, trace over them with a much more colourful version. And if I can get anything that looks half decent. Because the tile map's not so bad. We could have several tile maps and load one each level. Or you could probably do a few levels with one tile map, then load another one. I think that's pretty doable. The character sprites is what I'm running out of space with here. This will still be there, definitely in the back burner. We'll be copying from this a lot. You know, I'll probably start. Well, the next one I do, I'm going to start from scratch, but then you know, eventually I'll just make a copy of this, change all the graphics on it, just add like I want to add a Y movement and everything to it eventually. But before I do that, I need to simplify all of these routines. You know, most of these can be simplified. In fact, what's his name? Ped, I think it was, actually did upload a more simple version, but that was before I changed it to 2-bit tiles. And not only did I change it to that, I also changed it to 16 scroll width rather than 8 at the same time. So it would take a lot of adapting his code to get it back to being this like decent of an engine, if you know. Because the other one was a bit more. It was much better code, but it was just a more goofy way of doing it than this. He was matching the way I was doing it before. But yeah, I think vertical scrolling, to go back to that, that would be a lot easier, I think, Specky, if you were only doing vertical. Hmm. I am taking a leaf from your suggestion book, though, Specky Nut, with the game design document. I'm going to try and loosely stick to one soon. By that, I just really mean I'll create the sprites first so that they're all set out ready before we start. Yeah, we'll just have a basic plan. It'll be like, right, here's the animation frames we're going to want, and here's the size of the world, and here's what the tiles are going to look like, you know, stuff like that, just before we even start. I think that will help to try and progress into a full project scenario. Because at the moment, on the next, I wasn't even thinking about making a full game. You know, none of my projects so far have even been thinking about finishing the game. Fair enough, Specky. We're all at different skill levels, though, man. We can't all know it all, you know. Like, there's no fun in having someone else just tell you the code, as you probably know. It's okay if you're stuck on something for ages and someone says, "Oh, you just need this one line" or something. But for someone to say, "Oh, you should write this entire game completely differently," you know. Yeah, I like it. I like your like clues. Yeah, an hour's bad enough. You're right. You're right. But I mean, I've had some problems here where I've been stuck for like 3 solid days on the same thing, or 3 solid evenings, I should say. Yoda drip. That's it. You just got to plant the seeds. But if you looked at my code now compared to a month ago, even, I think you'd be impressed a little bit. Yeah, hints are brilliant, man. They're the best ones. Because then I still get that satisfaction feeling when I'm like, oh, I actually get it now and I'm writing it myself. I can remember looking at these and just thinking, got no chance. You know, how do I know which one to put here and all that, you know? But now I just know it. So that's one of the most important bits, along with the sprites, wherever they are. You know, the initializing of the sprites in a much similar way. And of course, the big one for me that I learned a lot was the load bins with the MMU. You know, if I didn't know that, I'd be stuck completely. So yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna wind it up early, guys. So I'm knackered out, but I've got more time off. Yo, Specky, yeah. Oh yeah, you don't want to be staying up watching me when you got stuff to do in the morning. Yeah, yes it. So I'm off, and I'm gonna try and do more videos, but some of them are gonna be gaming. Yeah, I feel for you, dude. To be honest, we get a lot busier now that everyone's in lockdown. But yeah, sadly, I'm probably doing more work and getting less money though, because I used to get tips, but now no one comes to the door or anything. If they do, they're like, "Oh, can you just leave it there?" I've I was only supposed to be off this week, but they phoned me and said, "Do I want to?" Because I told them I wanted 3 weeks off, and they texted me and said that they're okay for another week. So I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll take another week off." But yeah, once I get back, hopefully plenty of dosh. But I don't even need money, honestly. I sit here and code now, and just chill out, you know. It's fine. We got this. No, I need what money I do have, but I mean, I don't need to go and work extra hard to get even more. Well, to be fair, I did have 3 weeks off at the start of the year, but I was really ill. And also, the whole country was in lockdown then as well. Other than that, there was like no, about 15 months, and I didn't have any days off. You know, I had a couple of days off each week at the most, but never a time off. It has been one bloody weird year. And it's only going to get weirder by the looks of it. People just seem to accept all this weirdness now. And in fact, like they enforce it on you, just the general public, you know. So, God, you know, I'm just going to plug into my ZX Spectrum. Like, I'm going to try and find a way to plug my mind just directly into the computer. Go full on Star Trek style. Yeah, new skill. That's it. You got to look for the silver lining. Spec next. All right. The ZX. Ooh, clever, isn't they? That's a long delivery time, to be fair. Good for them though. I hope it gets more popular. I mean, my videos aren't great, but they can only help with the popularity. People see it, and you know, they might not have even heard of the ZX Next. Some of the people that have been in here. You start making some really nice looking games. Crash the website with the demand. Yeah, they made a lot of money on that. Good for them though. Why not? I'm all for people making money as long as it's not in evil ways. We've actually made a heck of a lot of progress here, but it's at the stage now where I am going to leave this project. Probably tomorrow it will be a brand new one. This is just too perfect now. It'll just get buggered from here. There's no... I could add the enemies in, but... We've done that before with the other game. Yeah, boy. Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all your comments, helpful hints, just general discussion. I love it all. Good night, Specky Nut. I'll be here tomorrow, my man. Hopefully you are too. If not, I'll be here all week. All the rest of you as well. Good night, Spec Chum. Thanks very much. I'll see you again soon, hopefully, mate. And everyone else, have a good night. Bye-bye.